to all. I'd like to make mention, honorable mention, to the Honorable Joe Torres, council member, and then to John Testa, minority leader of Westchester County Legislature District 1. My name is Tristy Nichols. I'm the president of the Lincoln Society, and today we are here to just celebrate the day that President Abraham Lincoln came to Peekskill on February 19th in 1861. Our program today starts here at the Excedra to remember him. So we have a prayer that we'd like to begin with. With words in prayer by Stephanie Graham.
Good afternoon. We gather to remember one president, Abraham Lincoln, who changed the course of history in America. He was willing to risk his life in order to free America of hate and bigotry. All that America would remember the investment made for us to truly be a nation of united people. President Lincoln said, "With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations." Abraham Lincoln is an important figure to remember today, not just because he was an American president, the first Republican president, but because he did many great things, including being opposed to the enslavement of non-white people. We respectfully acknowledge his leadership and fortitude to overcome the odds and rise to greatness. The Emancipation Proclamation document angered a lot of American citizens. This act, along with other courageous decisions, cost him his life. In this current period of American history, where integrity, honesty, and great courage are in decline, we remember one of our nation's greatest presidents, and we remember the price of freedom. Let us pray. O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, we give thee thanks, O Lord, for all saints and servants of thine who have done justly, loved mercy, and walked humbly with you. For all the high and righteous ones who have wrought wonders and been shining lights in the world, we thank thee. We especially give thanks today for President Abraham Lincoln and for all who have earnestly sought thee in times of darkness and held fast to their faith. We give thanks for all who have remained steadfast even during times of trial, continuing to work for the good of all people as they had the opportunity. O thou sole source of peace, take now the veil from every heart and join us in one communion with thy faithful servants who have trusted in thee and were not ashamed, not of thy worthiness, but of thy tender mercy. Hear our prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Now we're going to hear the beautiful poem. Is it? Oh, Captain, my Captain. Thank you, Mark.
I'll try to speak the way that they had to speak over 100 years ago before we had amplification. A famous poet by the name of Walt Whitman was really troubled by the death of Abraham Lincoln in 1865. He had not been, shall I say, he was indifferent to whether or not he supported Lincoln in his nomination and campaign for president, but he became quite an admirer of Lincoln in later years, as the Civil War was probably the central theme of Walt Whitman's life, being at approximately the age of 40 at the time of the outbreak of the rebellion. Upon Lincoln's death, he penned a poem known as "O Captain, My Captain," which became probably the most famous piece, other than Leaves of Grass, that he wrote during his lifetime. And it goes thus: "O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wreck. The prize we sought is won. The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting. While follow eyes our steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But heart, heart, oh, the bleeding drops of red, whereon the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills. For you bouquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores are crowding. For you they call, the swaying mast, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, the arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells! But I with mournful tread walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Uh-oh. Okay, thank you all. We're going to march down in parade form down to the Lincoln Depot Museum, and please join us down there for the actual reenactment. Thank you. Everyone, I'm so glad you could make it here. It's a great day. It's really nice out. I'm so glad to see everyone here. My name is Tristy Nichols. I'm the current president of the Lincoln Society in Peekskill, and I'm here to just welcome you. Before I get started with the program, I'd like to give honorable mentions. Sandy Galiff, New York State Assemblywoman is here. Of course, the Honorable, I'm sorry, I'm just really nervous, I'm sorry. The Honorable John Testa is here. He's Minority Leader, Westchester County Legislative District 1. And then the Honorable Frank Catalina is here. And then, of course, former councilwoman Kathy Pisani is here. Am I forgetting anybody else? Oh no, of course I am. The Sons of Union Veterans Civil War group is here. There's a name I'm supposed to remember, but of course I can't remember. But we're really glad to see you here. Thank you. Okay, today we are here to celebrate the day that President Abraham Lincoln came to Peekskill, New York on February 19th, 1861. And what you're about to witness is the actual reenactment of that very special, historical, important day. So our society's reenactors are here to give you a glimpse of what that day actually looked like. And here they are.
In common with your fellow citizens, generally, we appreciate the difficulties which will probably attend you in the discharge of the important duties about to devolve upon you as Chief Magistrate of this nation. We have, however, full confidence in the soundness of your head and the purity of your heart. And with the aid of that divine providence which you have invoked, you will be equal to every emergency which may arise in this critical condition of the nation. You have our hopes and prayers that your administration will prove as prosperous and happy to our beloved country and as honorable to yourself as the difficulties and dangers which now threaten you are great. Associated as we have been in the councils of the nation, I need not assure you of my pleasure in thus meeting you again and bearing to you this message from my neighbors and friends. Mr. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have but a moment to stand before you and thank you for this cordial reception tendered by your authorities. In regard to the difficulties that lie before me, and to which your president has alluded, let me say that if I shall only be as generously and unanimously sustained as this meeting would seem to indicate I shall be, in my management of public affairs I shall probably not fail. But without that sustaining arm, I'm quite sure that the difficulties that lie before me will not only be too great for my humble self, but too great for any individual man. I thank you then, as I have thanked the assembled thousands upon various occasions, as I have passed along my route for such demonstrations, which, if they mean anything, means that I shall be supported, not only by the people who gave me election, but by the free, intelligent, and earnest support of all of the parties in the country.
That was a wonderful job, Mr. President. Now we just need to, we would like to hear a few words from our dignitaries who are here. Just a few words.
Well, I think we have a lot to learn from you, Mr. President. There are a lot of elections going on right now for people who want to be president, and they're not as short in speaking, nor as concise, nor saying not so much. But when you think about what President Lincoln was able to accomplish, he was not a man that I guess was out on the trail speaking a great deal, although he probably had his own town meetings. Your town meetings? Probably. Probably. That would be the thing to do, to go to the community and have a town meeting without the cameras, without everything else. But when you think back about all the things that you were able to accomplish, and of course pulling our country together and the whole issue of the Civil War, I mean, you could be so commended for your accomplishments, and we all look back and say, we had a great president in Abraham Lincoln. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. beautiful day. Sure, it's February. Usually we're having snow and other worries for today like today. I'm here wearing a number of hats. First, let me just say, as president of the Lincoln Depot Museum, let me welcome you on behalf of our board members. And with us today, we have Paul Martin, we have Kathy Pisani, we have Jeff Sweet. I think Sybil Kanan is inside. So we're really happy to be in collaboration with the Lincoln Society. And I'm so happy that they continue to do the ceremony up at the Excedra. As you know, since 1925, when that was opened, that's where all the ceremonies were until we were able to obtain this building just about 12 years ago. So now we can have the event right here on the spot where it took place. Michael Macedoni did a great job today. Let's give him a round of applause, and let's keep in our thoughts and prayers Michael Greist, who is our Lincoln reenactor for so many years. We want to see him back soon, and we want to see you come to the museum often. We have a lot of new displays we'll be talking about in the future when we go inside, and we have another event with our guest speaker. And as you can see, we're moving forward with our support building, visitor center that is going to be hopefully, I'm looking at the mayor, hopefully done this year, and by next year when we're here, we'll be able to actually use that building as well. So we're very honored to have you here. We're very happy to be a part of this, and thank you for being here.
They said be brief, but give an Italian a microphone and it's going to be a while. I just want to welcome everyone here, and hopefully by next year we'll have refreshments in the new visitor center. How's that? I was glad that when I took office that we were able to break apart some of the disagreements and finally get this thing off center. I just want to thank my classmate from Peekskill High School, John Testa, for really a lifelong job of getting this thing off the ground. You know, when I think back of Lincoln, although I wasn't there, when you think about this country today, and they say how difficult it is with the political divisions of our country, you think back to what Lincoln had to put up with, a war, families killing each other on the borderline, and just the divisive issue of slavery. So every time you think that we have it bad, think back to what they had. I, for one, think that the political parties as they formed at the very beginning of our country is what made this country strong. I believe firmly and that the discourse between political parties is what has made this country great and what makes us stronger by debating, healthy debate. Just watch any of our council meetings. Healthy debate is good for this country, it's good for the state, it's good for our city. And with that being said, that's enough. God bless you all. God bless the city of Peekskill.
Just like to invite you inside the museum. We have some special cookies in there, my home style, thanks to Kathy Pisani making sure that took place, and hot chocolate. Come in, look at the museum, and be prepared for the guest speaker. You gonna announce who the guest speaker is?
Dr. Charles Strozier.
So he's right in the audience right there.
So come on in.